In this video, I want to have a look at probability. So there's a few things you need to remember from last year about probability. So the way we write it is the probability of an event, E, is going to be equal to the number of favourable outcomes or the number of possible ways that event can happen. And that's going to be divided by the total possible number of outcomes, or the number in the sample space. All right, a few other things you need to remember is that our probability, so the probability of an event, is going to range from 1 to 0. So it's always going to be less than or equal to 1. So that's if an event is certain, it's definitely going to happen, then it's going to have a probability of 1. If it's impossible, then our probability is going to be 0. So that means the probability of any event is going to lie between 0 and 1. A few other things we need to remember about complementary events. So we can write a complementary event as P of E with a little squiggle above it, and that means the probability of that event not happening. So the probability of the event not happening would be equal to 1 minus the probability that the event does happen. So that's because either it happens or it doesn't happen if they're complementary events, so that those two outcomes cover every possible outcome, then together they have to make that 1. So the probability of it not happening or happening has to be certain. So to figure out the probability of it not happening, we're going to go 1 minus the probability that it does happen. All right, so there are a few things we need to remember. Let's just put that in context just with one example. So let's have a look. Say there was a raffle and there were 256 tickets sold. So we've got a raffle, there were 256 tickets. Say I bought 4 of them. And I want to know what the probability is that I'm going to win first prize. So the probability of first prize would be equal to, well, I've got 4 tickets, so that's our number of favourable outcomes, over the total number of outcomes, which was our 256 tickets that were sold. So then we always want to simplify down our fractions. We can divide top and bottom both by 4, and we'd end up with 1 over 64. So the probability that if I've got 4 tickets and there's 256 tickets in total, probability that I will win first prize would be 1 out of 64.